Okay, hello everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto. My name is Sam and welcome to another episode. Now, the bearish sentiment is getting stronger and stronger because this correction right here after reaching $10,400, when everybody thought, all right, this is it, this is the bull market. Yeah, now we have this problem, and in this video I want to show you why I think that this matches perfectly with the historical price movement and why we will see an upwards movement in the next days. And now, before I get straight into it, I want to answer a question of one of our members who said, what if this isn't the third test of the channel line? What if we come down to test it right down at these levels right here? And honestly, if this is the case, then we have to put this line right like this. So something like this right here. And if you make it like this, so I make it a little bit longer. So this would mean if we see a drop down, guys, we would come down to $2,500. If that happens, we are below the bottom of our bear market. All right, the bottom was at approximately $3,100, and this would be a move that never ever happened. So I say it's very unlikely because of the historical price movement. If we come back down to this level, and if that happens, I don't know if we can talk about the four-way theory anymore, because this would be really, really crazy. I mean, of course, it would be the third test, and then we might see a unbelievable pump, but I think after this video you will agree with me that this is not the most likely scenario for us. So I make it like this. I think this makes really sense to me. We had our three tests, and now we're fighting with this downwards trend line for a couple of weeks and months, and now we were able to break above it. We needed really volume that we had on the 25th of October, reaching $10,500 or $400. And yeah, we built this rising channel that is a part of the four-wave theory. We had one test, two tests, three tests. Now we have the problem on the futures chart that we don't see the last part of this movement. On the futures chart, it stopped at $10,000, but we all know we came up to $10,400 to $500. This is why I made it like this right here. And after reaching this point, Bitcoin came down, found support right here on this channel line, then it found again support on this channel line, and now we're below this channel line, and we're on this downwards trend line to see if it is support now. And it really makes sense to me to see it like this. Now you could also say, okay, maybe it is like this. It doesn't matter at the end, guys, if it is like this or like this, but I think it makes more sense to come down to this level and see if, or to this trend line to see if it is support now. And I think after this video you will agree with me that it's very likely to see an upwards movement. All right, so let's go to the brave new coin chart and step into the Delorean and go back to 2010. Because I want to show you something quite interesting and a new recurring similarity that makes an upwards movement very likely. I mean, every recurring similarity I showed you in my previous videos or indicate an upwards movement, really makes sense. And now this is a new one, and I think it makes my bullish view very very strong. All right, so this is the first wave in 2010. As you can see, we reached the highest point. We start coming back down, having this correction, very normal. And at some point, we found the bottom, and price started to move up again. Now, if you take a look at the RSI on the same time, what you can see is that at the same time the RSI started to come down, then also found its bottom, and for the first time after a very long period it started to move up again, and it didn't come back down to this level down there. All right, it didn't come back down, only after reaching the highest point of the next wave. Yeah, this one. So this is the highest point of the next wave, and then we had this correction, and then it came down to this level down there and then started to move up again. All right, so this is a recurring similarity, as you can see right here. Now if we compare this to the next wave in 2012, the first wave in 2012, what you can see, after reaching the highest point, price started coming down, RSI as well, then found its bottom. We had a massive last drop, so this is important, a massive last drop at the end where the trend reversal starts. And on the RSI, we're down at this level and we start to move up again after a long period where we were coming down. All right, so as you can see, a recurring similarity, price is moving up. We don't come back down to this level down there. We have this trend line that we're following. So if we put a line right there, as you can see, the RSI is also respecting this line on the way up. And yeah, and then we come to the second wave right here, and this is the first time where the RSI is back down and finds its bottom like the price and then starts to move up again. All right, so this is a very important recurring similarity, and like I said, we need this last massive drop. And in 2010, if I go back, what you can see is, yeah, there is this massive drop right here, and then the price starts to turn around. I mean, this is the first wave ever, guys, and there we also have the same structure, the same movement. Now, if we go to the first wave in 2015, there it is. So we had 2010, 2012, and now 2015. What you can see is after the highest point, price starts coming down, RSI starts coming down, then we have this massive drop. We have this massive drop on the RSI. We find the bottom right here, as you can see, and then the price starts moving up and the RSI as well, and it doesn't come back down, or it didn't come back down at that time. And it only came back down after the second wave right here, reaching the highest point, start coming down, and then the first time again after some month where it is down there and then starts to move up again. All right, so very important, guys, keep that in mind. I mean, this is a strong indicator in my opinion to see what is going down. And something else that is important is after this massive movements, what you can see is price comes back down to test previous levels. There again, so after this movement coming back down, testing these levels right here, then another massive movement, and then again coming down to test these levels down there. So this is something that you can see very, very often with a very high probability, that after a big movement, you come back down to the previous resistance levels to see if it is support now. This is really important, and it doesn't mean at that time, I mean, look, at that time, people were at $460 and they came back down to $400. So yeah, they could have also said, hey, what's going on right here? Is this going down now? No, it's just retesting these levels down there to move up again. Or at this point, I mean, the people were at $425 after a crazy pump, and then they're back down at $368. So it's the same. It's the same like we are seeing right now. So if we go back to the current wave, you can see that it really makes sense what we're seeing right now. So we have this massive drop, a long period where we're seeing this downwards movement as well on the RSI, and then we find our bottom right here and we start moving up again on the daily after a long period of time. And I think this movement will bring us to the highest point of the second wave. This will come, and then this will be the first time when we see the RSI going down to find the bottom again, when it will be down at these levels again. So I don't think that we will see a drop down to these levels again. It just makes no sense to me. Now, the problem with the RSI is that you don't see wicks on the RSI. So on the price, we would see a wick. So maybe we see a drop down to, let's say, $6,500, and then a pump on the same day back up. And on the RSI, you wouldn't see this. All right. So on the RSI, we would still be following this trend line, although we have a wick down on the price. Now, I think it's a very bad sign to have a drop below $7,300. This is not a good sign if we see a lower low. So I expect us to come or to move upwards from here. I don't think that we will see a drop. And the previous first waves that I showed you also don't have this wicks down below the last low after a pump. So this just makes no sense to me to see a wick down there. I mean, of course, everything is possible, guys. So for me, the very important level at the moment is $8,000. If we drop below $8,000, then we could come down to $7,700. So be aware of that. All right, this could really happen. I'm not saying that we will immediately move upwards. We could come down to $7,700, and then we will maybe have a trend line down there which is like this, and we are still moving upwards. So this can happen. I'm not saying it will just move upwards from here. This is possible. Even this is possible, although I think it's unlikely to come down to this level, $7,500. But it could happen. It could happen, and if it happens, it's okay. It's not a problem, and it doesn't mean that we're not in a bull market or something like this. It can happen to come down to this level, although this right here just makes more sense to me. And it makes more sense to me when we take a look at the fib levels. So if we come from here to here, what you can see is that we came down to the 61 fib level and had this massive pump right here. And so it really makes sense. It's very healthy for this correction. And even if we take a look at this movement right here, this big pump that we had, so if we take out the fib level and go from here to here, what we can see is that we came down to the 78 fib level, and this also makes really sense. We find support on it, and so I really can imagine us to move upwards right here from this point on. So everything I'm showing you makes my view stronger, that it just makes no sense to see another drop down. It really makes no sense to me. Now please write in the comments what you think about this. If you think no, this is nonsense and we will see another drop. Something else that I want to show you right here on this chart, and it's just amazing how the fib circles work. So this is the logarithmic chart, and I hope you can see the whole. Yeah. So what you can see is price is really respecting this fib circles, and every time it crosses a fib circle, something happens, a big movement happens. And so it really makes sense what we're seeing right here. Fib circles are very strong, is a very strong tool. So if you find the time, you should work with them and learn how to use them. Now what I want to show you is the last fib circle we crossed is this one right here, as you can see. All right, this is the same fib circle. In 2011, when we crossed it, we had a pump up to this resistance up here, and look right here, we crossed it, we had a pump to the next fib circle right here. I mean, this is not the next fib circle, it's the same fib circle, but we came to up to this point right here where we touched the fib circle again. Now we crossed it, we came to the next fib circle and touched it, and now after this move right here, we had a big correction, then we came back up. Now look at, after this point right here, we have a big correction and we come back up. As you can see right here, we come back up. So it looks very similar to me what is happening right now. And now what is important, after coming down, then back up, and this correction, we started to move up. All right. So I can really imagine to see us move up from this point right here where we are right now, because from my experience, what you see in these fib circles replicate again after crossing the same fib circle, as you can see right here. So it's really replicating, and I think it is very likely to see us coming up to this green fib circle right here. So let me zoom in a little bit. So that we come up to this fib circle, and this would be at $11,000 approximately. And so, and this level makes so much sense, the $11,000 level. If we for the mindset, when the people see we're above $11,000 again, I think it will be very, very bullish. All right, because this is a very bullish sign. After all of this being above $11,000, then I think we will cross this green fib circle and move to the next waves, and the fourth wave, like I told you. Now, something that is really crazy, guys, and I want to show it. So what you can see is every time we cross a fib circle, we cross it, we come to the next one. We cross it, we come to the next one. We cross it, we come to the next one. We cross it, come to the next one. Cross it, come to the next one, all right? Again, we crossed it, we came to the next one. Now, if we cross this one, guys, the next fib circle is at this point right here, and you see that, you see the price, we're close to something like $700,000, $800,000, all right? So this is crazy. If this happens again, and I think is likely, guys, we come up to these levels. Now, in one of my first videos, I told you that I think, after my calculations and data and stuff, I think that $300,000 to $400,000 is likely. And now look at that. This is, so if we say down here we're in 2022, then this could be at $800,000, guys, and I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. So this is just what I want to show you right here with this green fib circle. And for the current movement, I also have this orange fib circle. And what is really interesting is that this orange fib circle is our resistance level at the moment. So right here, it is pushing us down, and I think as soon as we cross this fib circle, and I think it will happen in the next days, we will start moving up to this green fib circle at $11,000. This is my opinion, and just to show you what happened the last time we crossed this fib circle, so this is the same fib circle. When we crossed it, we had a nice pump. Again, when we came down here and crossed it, we had a nice pump. And so I think the next time we will cross it, we will see a pump, guys, to this one. And then when we cross this one, so we get above $11,000. I mean, it just depends on where we will reach it. So as you can see right here, this is $10,500. Also possible. I mean, we will see it in the next days and weeks. But as soon as we cross this green fib circle, we will move upwards, and this orange one as well. So this will be this will initiate this upwards movement, and we're very close to cross it. We're very close to cross it. So I think in the next days, guys, we will cross this one when we have the sideways movement. So pray for a sideways movement so that we can cross this orange fib circle, and then we will have a pump. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope it is helpful. Please leave a like, subscribe, join our Discord channel. You know that we have some amazing things going on, like our trading bot, which is showing amazing results, guys. So if you want to be a part of it, please join the Discord channel. And if you like this, leave a like, subscribe, write in the comments what you think. And I'm Very excited to see your thoughts. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day.